So what does the homeowners insurance market look like for this year? I'll be discussing this in a two-part video. So today's topic will be number one, what you need to know for the 2025 forecast of property insurance. Number two, I'll be talking about the big three issues: wiring, electrical panels, and polybutylene plumbing, also known as polypipes. Number three, wind mitigation and 4-point inspections. And lastly, number four, concrete block versus wood frame construction. If this is your first time on my channel and you want to know everything about living in Sanford, Florida to Orlando, Florida, and anywhere in between, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market in Central Florida. Hey there, my name is Hilda Hernandez with EXP Realty. You know, we get calls every day from people just like you. So whether you're moving in 7 days or 7 months, feel free to reach out, as all of my information is in the description box below. We would be happy to help you make a smooth move to Central Florida. Now, let's take a closer look at what the insurance company have to say. I am a licensed real estate professional, not an insurance expert. The information provided is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal or financial advice. Insurance coverage and policy details vary, so I strongly recommend consulting directly with your insurance carrier to verify coverage and obtain professional guidance tailored to your specific situation. Thank you. Number one, what you need to know for the 2025 forecast of property insurance. Now, insurance will continue to be a process, normally taking about 1 to 2 days to receive a quote, though properties with multiple concerns may require additional time. Now, binding a policy can also take about 1 to 2 days depending on the carrier guidelines. So in 2025, insurance rates are expected to be more stable compared to 2024. Great news for buyers, right? The average premium for a typical transaction in Central Florida will remain between $2,800 to $3,000. Now, if you're looking at new construction homes, these will largely remain unaffected by the ongoing insurance challenges. The average annual premium for new construction is about $1,500 or less. So, more insurance carriers are entering the market. That's great news, such as Trident, MSI, Orange Express, and Loggerhead. And 2 of these options are already available. So additional carriers are expected to increase capacity in Florida throughout 2025. All right, so let's talk about roof age and condition. These still continue to play a significant role in securing coverage. There are other property issues which may become slightly less restrictive. So number 2, the big 3, wiring, electrical, and polypipes. Insurance carriers do consider aluminum wiring as an increased fire risk. This is because it's hazardous due to softness, creeping, and rusting, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And it was prevalent during 1950 to 1990. And mainly here in Central Florida, we are seeing it in homes that are built between 1970 to 1990. So when we're talking about softness, we mean that the aluminum is softer than the copper wiring. The aluminum is easy to nick, cut, or crush, and because of that, you get damaged wires which can cause hot spots, overheating, and a fire. So now, aluminum has greater heat expansion than copper. So when the aluminum is heating and cooling, it causes the aluminum to, what they call, creep out of the insulated wire jackets, the connection terminals and connection terminal screws that hold the wire in place. And because of this, you get the loose connections, which then can cause overheating and fires. So what would be the solution for this? If you have aluminum wiring, you want to replace the aluminum wire with copper wire. There are add-on solutions such as pigtail wiring techniques, copolymer splices, and Alumicon connectors that can be done. Now, you want to make sure that you hire a licensed electrician for this type of replacement, or seek the professional advice as to other ways that you can replace these aluminum wirings. Now, next we have the electrical panels. Many brands of electrical panels have issues and may be defective and must be addressed. So the ones that you want to look out for would be Federal Pacific Stab Lock. This is one of the main ones that we see here in Central Florida. Challenger, Sylvania is another one, Zinsco, and Bulldog. Now, some insurance companies do allow replacement after closing, but most do not. So what's the cost to replace these panels? They can be anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000. Now, Citizens, they do take these type of panels after, they'll go ahead and take them and secure them, but they have to be in working order. Now, the last of the three big ones is the Polypipes. Its usage was prevalent between 1978 to 1995. Carriers look at Polypipes as an all-in or nothing issue, meaning the entire plumbing has to be removed from the home. Remnants of it cannot be left within the walls or anywhere else for that matter. The average cost to replumb is anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000. Now, if you have Plex plumbing and it's older than 10 years, it's treated the same as Polypipes, so beware. Depending on the insurance company, you may still be able to move forward with the purchase of the home with Polypipes. However, there will be an exclusion for water damage, so make sure you ask your insurance carrier about that. Now, let's move on to number 3. We're going to be talking about the wind mitigation and 4-point inspection. So if the home is older than 2010, these are the 2 important inspection reports that you need to get and submit to your homeowner's insurance. The wind mitigation report inspects roof to wall connection, the age of the roof, secondary resistance, roof deck attachment, protected openings, and whether it's a non-hip or hip roof. This report can save you $200 a year for the first 4 years of your policy. Now, for the 4-point inspection, they're looking at 4 main components of the home, really 5, but the main 4 are the roof, the plumbing, the electrical, and the HVAC system. The 5th would be the water heater. This is what the insurance do not cover. So if your AC is 20 years or older, will not cover. If the water heater is inside the home and is over 14 years old, or if it's in the garage and over 20 years old, they won't cover. The good news is, though, if you have a tankless water heater, there are no restrictions. Now, if any of the previous electrical panels that I mentioned before, they may also not cover that. If the roof does not have more than 3+ years of life expectancy, they won't cover it. Or if you have Polypipes, which we already spoke about. Now, number 4 and the last one. We are coming in for a landing. And I think one that many do not know about, this was actually news to me. The difference in premium for a concrete block versus a wood frame construction home. Can you believe that it can be up to 40% of an increase in your insurance premium if you own a wood frame versus a concrete block? So why is this? Historically, concrete block costs less to insure than wood frame. And since 2018, due to the increase in lumber prices, concrete block construction now costs about the same as wood frame. Wood frame homes are more vulnerable to heat, fire, insects, temperature, water, weather, and wind. Now here's an interesting fact. If the upstairs on a multi-story home is 33.3% or more built out of wood frame, even though the first floor is concrete block, then the insurance carrier, their rate for the entire home will be based off of wood frame. That's pretty crazy to me, but that's good to know, right? So this is why I have my buyers get a quote during the inspection period and make sure that the insurance premium falls within their budget, because this could be a deal breaker for many homeowners. Because if the premium is too high, it could affect your debt to income ratio, which can result in not getting your loan approved. So stay tuned for part 2 and more insights on what property insurance are forecasting for 2025.